everybody, this is Dave Nassy over here at Next Level Guitar, and today we are doing a lesson that I was very looking forward to today. It's another in the style of lesson here at Next Level. We are inspired. We are inspired by our heroes today, so much so that we are going to take from them and regurgitate it back to you, and we're going to learn a bunch of stuff. That's what I'm really excited about. This is a very clean tone that we are using. We're swimming in reverb. We're going to use our E minor pentatonic scale, only 2 chords, and we're going to do some cool percussive licks, basically. We're going to be kind of lazy with our left hand. And who doesn't like being lazy? Let's just say. Everybody, this is your moment of zen. Click on that link below. Do you see it down there in that text box? You click on that link that you see in that text box, you will get a free video that is not available on YouTube, a coinciding ebook, free, that is not available on YouTube, and it's great. You know, you got all these lessons here, but let's go for more. All you got to do is click on that link, and you get a great ebook, free, a lesson, free, not available on YouTube, and that's all you got to do is just click on that link. All right, so let's dive right on in. We're going to talk about the 2 chords that we're going to play. I'll show them. Here they are. With some volume, they're even cooler. All right, here's our first chord. The best way to execute this is just treat it like a typical bar chord. I'm in my 7th position. I've got my first finger laying flat all the way up to my E note. I've got my 3rd finger on B. I've got the low string and the bass. I've actually done something kind of different here today because I wanted to swell into some of my chords. And for those of you out there that have a bit of a Floyd Rose, or you have a tremolo bar on your guitar, I've tightened this so that way it doesn't float around too much. And I can use that to create some really nice vibrato on my chords. Here's another one. Take a look at this chord. I've got my index finger on A over here. I've got C sharp. I've got my 3rd. I've got my octave. And then I've got an F sharp over here with my pinky. Let's throw another chord in there. Let's make it 3. Why not? That's kind of a cool chord. Really dark sounding. And what's really cool is you can do an upstroke. Ooh, spicy. Spicy with that. I've got the more of the pick exposed. You can see how I've kind of changed the grip, and I'm just going to drag it right over the tailpiece. This will work on any style of guitar, if it's fixed, floating, whatever. Mystifying. Fantastic. Okay, so shapes that we're going to use when it comes to scale. Real easy. First position pentatonic. And I bet you we're going to probably use a little bit of the last form of E minor pentatonic, so let's cover him. If any of you guys watch my lessons, you know that sometimes I'll start off saying one thing and I have to control myself from going off on a tangent, so we'll cover some bases here just in case. We've got the 2nd form of pentatonic. This starts on 15. All right, I think we're covered. I think we got what we need to be able to try to execute some of these great sounds in the style of this lesson. So what I want to do first is I want to talk about this really cool thing that you can do by just letting a note ring out. I'm just going to hit the low string. I'm not even, we talked about these chords, but I want to leave this low E ringing out. This raking that happens when you get into the flat 5. That's what I want to explain. So what I've got what I'm doing is I've got my 3rd finger on A, and these 2 fingers are laying at an angle to where they're going to definitely block B and E. I'm going to turn my body a little bit this way. Then what happens when I rake into it, if I really exaggerate it, I can control the tempo that I cross those strings. But I'm going to do that, slide up to the flat 5 and back. Within that, you get all this cool play that can happen when you get back to trilling on the E. That's ultimately where we're going to resolve to. So what we're thinking is raking. Look at that motion. And we're going to get into that. Now I can rake that, of course. What I want you to listen to is that raking that goes right into the note. It's subtle and it's really dynamic. In blues playing, what's great to take from your heroes, and that I often get inspired by, is the dynamic range that they work with the guitar. Not always very bombastic and loud, but very, very quiet. Very, very quiet and subtle. And that dynamic, if you can master that, is really cool because you're controlling all of these things from your guitar. No pedals involved. I've got nothing going on. I'm just going straight into my amp here with some reverb and just trying to use that to the best of my advantage. Reverb allows your notes to happen and gives some warmth to your sound, and you can hear the tone of the guitar a little bit better. So within this, I can go right back to this chord, set that up. What's another one? These are classic sounding licks. This is gonna be a pull off with a downstroke. I'm going from D to B, 15 to 12. Now I'm gonna rake. So what I'm doing is I'm raking into my pinky. That note is initially gonna kick off a pull off pattern that's gonna descend all the way to G and back to E. Now, if you use different fingers, you can do that too. However you choose to, however you're most comfortable fretting it. We're going to take it one further. Great sounds in there. We're going basically thinking of this lick. Really simple pattern. And raking into it. Back to your chord. So those are a couple nice little things. Have to do with the percussive side of life. A little bit of muting. Let's dive a little bit more into it. So what's going on there? This is really cool. I'm starting off going, I'm actually playing it, not playing it, faking it. I'm just randomly thinking of a rhythm where I'm not really totally fretting the notes. Sometimes I do fret the notes, sometimes I don't, but it's dynamic and you're kind of in and out and it draws people in. That's what we're hoping to do here, right? Is to make it so that with this clean tone, I'm achieving a lot. I can attack it hard, I can attack it softly, but I'm really thinking of how I can use these chords to drone in the background. Hit the A. Now, one thing I must mention. You have a floating tailpiece, if you hit these low notes and you try to bend some strings, things are going to get weird on you. I just saved it right there. Almost happened to me. I had, I'm on video, I'm supposed to look all cool and stuff. I hit the low string and I bent this up and listen what happens. You hear that low note kind of change. So you got to watch out for that a little bit. If you've got a fixed tailpiece, you're going to, flow through that part of this example a little bit easier. But still, case in point, we've got another great lick that we can do up here. Now I'm plucking with this finger. In this style, what's really important is you get better tone depending upon what part of your fingers you're using. Be conscious of that. If I'm right on the tip of this finger, I get a brighter sound than if I get the warmth of rolling my hand back a little bit. And I'm just plucking it here. Let that fall, pre-bend it. Look at it, I'm just going 14, that's A, B, and D. Subtle, it's sensitive, but totally cool. You know what, I love these style of lessons. I think I'm going to do a couple more and we're going to round it out. There's so much information that can be really achieved here, if I'm not careful, you're going to have like a 20-minute video, and that ain't going to happen right now. We're looking at shorting these things down a little bit. I see Dave looking at me. He's like, dude, careful. All right, so what I want you to think of, what's our mission statement here? We've got a clean tone. We're swimming in reverb. We've learned a couple of really cool licks that are first position pentatonic, a little bit of second position. But they are so rooted in tradition, and I know the moment you hear them, you know who I'm thinking of. So in the style of today, I present this to you. Thank you so much for checking it out. I'm going to jam a little bit more. I hope you dug this video. Go to the website, nextlevelguitar.com. All kinds of great material on there. Any style, all kinds of information. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.